to the video. I'm in Barcelona. I'm here with a friend and we just arrived at the hotel. We had our flight at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. We arrived at 9 and it's now almost 1 p.m. I have no idea what we did from 9 to 1 p.m. What happened? We went to Starbucks yesterday actually. We went out for dinner and we started drinking a little bit, you know, to get in the mood for Barcelona. And then we went to bed at like almost 1 a.m. and we had to get up at 4 a.m. today, so we're both tired, done. I thought I would quickly show you the room before we go out and do all the interesting stuff. So the room is not very special. We were hoping for a balcony. We barely have a window, but the room is nice. The room is nice. Other than that, it is nice. Okay, so this is pretty much the entire room. Here we have a little table with a mirror. Here we have the bed. We have a closet. We have a TV. The lighting is terrible. I'm gonna show you the window now. You're gonna be shocked, I promise. Oh, and by the way, we have this beautiful map thing over the bed. If this is not the most beautiful hotel view you've ever had in your entire life, then I don't know. And then we have where we started, can you focus? The bathroom. Huge mirror, this is the best light in the entire room. Sink, toilet, very interesting. And we have a shower, and that's it. Okay, so I've never in my entire life been to Sephora, so this is the first time I'm ever going to Sephora, and I thought I would vlog it a little bit, so... The vlog ended pretty quickly, as you can see. I pretty much filmed on the day that we were arriving, like, I don't know, like the first few hours, and then I completely stopped vlogging. But I still have a few things to tell, so I thought I would do a little story time. So if you're interested in the weird things that happened throughout our trip, grab a coffee or a tea or whatever, get something to drink, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit of what happened and why I stopped vlogging. We were in Barcelona for 4 days, 3 nights, and I already slept at my friend's place on Wednesday, and we went out for dinner and we were really excited for our first trip together, and we decided to drink a little bit in the evening before our flight the next day. So our flight was around 7 a.m. Thursday, 7 a.m. So we had to get up at like 4 a.m. a little bit before 4 a.m. Well, it wasn't the best idea to drink something before our flight, so we stayed up way longer than planned. I couldn't fall asleep, and because I don't know, I have troubles falling asleep when I know the next day I have to wake up super early or I have to be somewhere. I don't know, that I just automatically feel stressed, so I couldn't fall asleep. The sun is going down, so if the lighting is changing, I'm sitting in front of a window. Like, I was up for 24 hours pretty much, and then still had the whole day ahead of me. We had like a 2-hour flight, so the first thing we wanted to do was to grab some Starbucks. I don't know what we kind of did, but you know, we're drinking our coffee and talking. And then I was like, you know what, it's been an hour, over an hour since our plane landed, and we still haven't gotten our luggage. And I was like, oh my gosh, do they still have the luggage, you know, on this van? So we went to the bed. We were very worried that our luggage would be gone, or they would have put it somewhere else because there was already the next flight coming in. Or 2 flights, I don't know. Who gets their luggage an hour late? But to sum the story up, we got our luggage. Then we had struggles to find the bus. It was a whole journey until we arrived at the hotel, okay? When we arrived, finally, we got ready, we got to the beach, and because we were like, we don't want to do anything, we're tired, let's go to bed early that day and start Friday with more energy. Okay, we went to the beach, and there were like boys coming up to us, and they were like asking if we wanted to go to a beach party, which was organized by some organization, like it wasn't a private beach party, whatever. And then it was like, I don't know, we didn't really know how to get there, how to get home. Like there was already like such a long drive to the hotel back. Then we would have had to go from the hotel to the beach party because we were like wearing no makeup, and there was like an after party at a club, and it was a whole thing, and it was like driving here and there, and we didn't want to spend so much money for Uber, taxi, whatever, to drive anywhere. So we switched between going, not going, and then we decided to just not go because this pool party was like really far away. You had to pay like an entrance, I think like 25 euros or something, and I was like, I don't know, I don't want to spend that money and then still have to buy drinks there and whatever. Okay, we went for food, we had a sangria, it was very fun. Then we went back to the hotel because we already drank. My friend was like, let's go to the club. Let's go to this after pool party club. So we got ready and we wanted to go there by bus because the club was on a bus destination and we had like a 48-hour bus ticket. So we went to the bus, we got into the bus, sitting down, and then the bus driver comes up to us and he's like, something in Spanish, and I'm like, sorry, and he tells me again in Spanish and I'm like, sorry. Tells me a third time, I have no idea. We go with him to his driver's seat and someone in the bus was kind enough to translate, and he told us that our ticket was not valid for the night bus. So we didn't have a valid ticket. So I was like, okay, can we buy a ticket in the bus with card? And he was like, no. And then I was like, okay, can we pay cash? And he was also like, no, because he doesn't have any change. So he let us drive the bus without any ticket. Okay. We go to the club. It's about midnight until we arrive at this club. That's the time where I usually go to bed. I have to mention it maybe here, I'm not a club person. I haven't been to a club in I don't know how long. I don't like to party, I don't like clubs, it's not my thing, okay? I like to stay at home. Maybe go to a bar, go to a restaurant, this is more my thing. Clubbing, no. 12, midnight, club. The club was more like a bar club, it wasn't like club, you know what I mean? The drinks were expensive. We paid like 15 euros for a mojito, which was ridiculous. We only had 2. Then we went dancing and all fine. Then we met like some German boys. They were coming up to us, they started talking to us. I don't know, they were super boring, to be completely honest. They were really sweet, but they were boring. Then they asked us if they should drive us home, and we were like, yeah, sure, why not? Then we don't have to pay for anything, and yeah. But we were one person too much for the car. So they just decided to drive us home like that. I was in the front seat, my friend in the back seat with the other 3 boys. Well, we got stopped by the police. Nothing happened. They had to pay a fine? What is it called? I don't know. They had to pay something. We luckily got away. My heart was like beating because, you know, police and in a foreign state and you don't understand anything. We were home at like, I think it was 6 a.m. when we went to bed because this whole police thing took us a whole hour. Okay, good. Next day, I almost got hit by motorcycles and by cars because I crossed the street, like the traffic light was red and there were still people walking, so I was just walking along, and then I looked to the right and there were like motorcycles and cars driving so fast, no way they would have stopped, no way, and I just jumped back in a scare. Like, this never happened to me, but honestly, if I wouldn't have looked right and stepped back, they would have just hit me. That was very funny. And then later on, we almost got attacked by a pigeon. We were sitting on a table and this pigeon was flying onto our table all the time. We were switching tables, the pigeon would follow us everywhere. It was very scary, so we decided to leave after a while. And even when we got inside, there was a pigeon on the floor. I don't know what it was about that place that we were, like we had our lunch there and grabbed the coffee. The pigeons were crazy, and I kid you not, even like my friend, I'm not the biggest fan of pigeons because, I don't know, they kind of freak me out, okay? But my friend, I think she's usually pretty fine with them, and first year I was like, oh, she's so cute, because she had like a broken leg or something, and she felt sorry for her, for the pigeon. But then when the pigeon went psycho, it was like, okay, we have to leave. And then we were sitting outside, okay? I was sitting outside, I was sitting in my chair, I was talking to my friend a little bit later that day, and a man was literally running into me while I was sitting in a chair because he was looking somewhere at some bus, whatever, bus sign, and he ran into me while I was just sitting. Like, this all happened in one day, okay? We then went for dinner. Like, we went to the toilet after dinner. It started pouring down from rain. And then we wanted to find something to drink, a bar or something, because we were tired, okay? We didn't want to go to another club. Then we ended up at like a restaurant and we ordered sangria, and they were like, we're closing in 10 minutes, but don't hurry, you can drink it however long it takes you to drink that, you can just stay. This was like half an hour before they were closing, and then 10 minutes before they were closing, he was like, okay, we're closing in 10 minutes, you should hurry up. And we had like a whole jar of sangria, okay? So we kind of like X down the sangria, and then we were on the search for another bar. We went to another bar. I didn't want to go inside. It was so small. It was so, I don't know, but we went inside. Honestly, it was really fun. The barkeeper, like, we ordered 2 mojitos. I could see in his, you could see he was pissed making mojitos. And I was like, oh my gosh. And there was like the barkeeper and a waitress, and they were both like, they had such a rude vibe. They were not really happy that anybody was there, and I don't know. So we sat down, had our mojito, talked. It was really fun, and the barkeeper actually gave us, I think, 3 rounds or 4 rounds of shots, like randomly, just shots. He was drinking them with us, chilling, and he even explained to us how much he hates making mojitos. And then we even got a free cocktail that he created, which was very nice. Then at 3 a.m. we had to leave the bar because it was closing. So then it was like, what are we doing? Back to the German boys from the day before. They showed up again, and we went to another club. At this point, I was so pissed. I didn't want to go to a club. It was like 3 a.m. until we were at the club. When we were at the club, it was 4 a.m. 4 a.m. going to a club. I have been up like Wednesday, Thursday was like over 48 hours, and then I had like maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I was tired. Not to say I was tired. Then we went to a club. I was like, I'm not gonna pay anything to go into this club. This is way too expensive. It's like 4 a.m. We're gonna leave in 1 or 2 hours. I'm not paying this. They paid for us. We went into the club. We danced. It was actually kind of fun, honestly. I do not regret it. But then we left at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. or something. Oh my gosh, and then we had to wait for this one guy because one of the 4 boys drove one of them to the airport. Then we had to wait for him, and it was cold. It was really cold. And we were just sitting outside waiting for him to arrive, and I was like losing it. I was just counting down time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to leave. I'm freezing, I'm tired, I don't want to be here anymore. It's 6 a.m. I want to go home. Until we were at the hotel, it was 7 a.m. Oh, and by the way, the day before when we went to bed at like 6 a.m, I was like, we have to wake up at 10 a.m. because we have a breakfast buffet, and we paid for that. So that's why we only slept 4 hours the day before. And then this day, we came to the hotel at 7, and then I was like, you know what, let's just go to breakfast. We're not gonna wake up in 3 hours and have breakfast. Let's just have it at 7 a.m. And there were like all these people sitting, you know, in their suits and ready to work. And we were like straight coming from the club. we changed into sweatpants, but it was like, it was not a vibe. I almost fell asleep on a breakfast table, not gonna lie, it was really a struggle. Then we slept all day, until like 3 p.m. or something. We're all already on Saturday. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. So that's why we didn't do anything. That's why I didn't vlog anything. We were up all night. We didn't even see any of the sites we wanted to do. We didn't want to do like sightseeing. We were like pretty chill. We were like, okay, we're gonna go to Barcelona and see what happens. I didn't expect that we were only going to clubs and go out to eat and walk around, but honestly it was really fun. Like, I don't regret it. I would do it again. It was so chill. Like, there was no pressure of seeing all of the sights and walking and stressing and whatever. Nothing of that. We were so relaxed. We had like dinner at 10 p.m. sometimes every day. And it was just, we were just doing whatever we wanted, and I don't regret it. It was really fun. And then on the last day we went to a market. It was like a food market, and yeah, it was really nice. And then in the evening we went for dinner again, and then we went to a bar. So nothing really crazy happened that day. And then we grabbed some hummus and bread on our way home. And then on the last day we pretty much we went to Starbucks. Like, we had breakfast and we went to Starbucks, and then we had our lunch before we drove back to the airport, and we were like, let's have our last sangria. That sangria was so strong. It was like, we were like more tipsy than on Saturday night, like when we went to this bar and nothing crazy happened. We were so tipsy in the middle of the day, and we still had to go back to the hotel, get our luggage, drive to the airport. We even had a wine at the airport, okay? We even made a list. I don't know if I... Oh my god, my friend, she wrote down eating ketchup and chili sauce at 3:21 in the morning. That was like when we bought the bread and the hummus, and I still had ketchup and chili sauce from Taco Bell the day before. They gave me so much, I just kept it. I was like, I don't know, maybe we're gonna need some ketchup. She was eating it at 3:21 in the morning. It was my first party trip. It was my first girls trip, so I do not regret it. It was a lot of fun. I would do it again, maybe with a little bit more of sleep and a little bit more planned, you know, really planning to go to a club. Then you can still sleep in, have breakfast at 7 a.m. but you know, just not just spontaneously ending up in a club at 4 a.m. I would have rather, you know, went a little bit earlier maybe, but I think like it's always more fun before you go to a club. Like we had so much fun. When we were at the club, it wasn't that fun anymore. I don't know. I do not regret anything. It was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I hope you enjoyed listening to my story time. I wanted to make this a whole cool vlog. I was like, I don't know how much I'm gonna film. Maybe I'm gonna do 2 parts. Yeah, didn't happen. I hope you still enjoyed the story of what we did, and maybe it was a little bit entertaining. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!